Hello, boys and girls. We are back with the 9th episode of our Ottoman Empire playthrough. In the last episode, we took back Western Thrace from Bulgaria. The Balkan War, the Fourth Balkan War, is still going on. If Bulgaria would have a truce with me, they could just move these troops. This is so stupid, honestly. Okay, you don't want a non-aggression pact, then lose everything, stupid. Not my fault. Well, let's pick a focus, guys. So we should. Let me see. Naval base, fuel silos, our railway construction speed, autarky, and active officer. Tigris Alpha navigational. Let's do this because I think I need this to fully integrate the lands. Whilst the Ottoman Empire has seen distinct rise in industrial capacity and reduction in independence on agricultural exports, the empire lacks a clear vision to really guide the nation towards the future. To fix that, the government has decreed the creation of 14 economic commissions, each with their own areas, to formulate a centralized plan for the future. Start. And now let's enact the Benghazi Railway, the 600 days. That's important. Because, oh, I didn't read it out. Okay, let me read it out. One of the major issues that has plagued Regency is that all three of its regions suffer from a lack of interconnectivity. Hindered by natural obstacles, Cyrenaica and Tripolitania couldn't be further apart, as the Great Sand Sea east of the Sirte makes all transportation outside of sea routes nigh impossible. Furthermore, many of the more inland territories of Cyrenaica and Tripolitania aren't even connected to the coast, which has led to yet another divide between the urban centers of Tripoli, Benghazi, Misrata, and the pastoral villages deep in the Jabal. Even though an initial attempt at rail connectivity was attempted in the 20s, this network was uncompleted due to a lack of funding or local enthusiasm. The new government, however, has made railroads their number one priority and has decreed that it will extend the metal beasts to the far-flung desert of Tripolitania, connecting the city of Benghazi with Misrata and Tripoli. This is not only an incredibly ambitious plan, but also one likely to weigh heavy on the local population, which will be required to core up a sizable part of the investment. Oh, okay. Alright, and then I have to enact this because this is also 300 days. 100 days. This is okay, 100. Okay, this is done instantly, so it's alright. 60, so this is removed. This moves to 80. And then we just have to enact this and could have 100% on Syria, which would be very good. Greece, 10%, it would be 50. With this, it would be 55. Greek Insula, 10, okay. 20. But this is done instantly. No, 200 days. Oh, we have to do this. Centralized tax collection. The present structures established throughout the Greek islands have allowed for a wide plethora of sanctioned tax collectors, ranging from the millet level, which distinguishes between the religion, the vilayet level, which collects a certain amount of taxes based on the approximate geographical location, and last but not least, the OPDA, which accounts for our debt payment. Altogether, this has not only led to great confusion amongst the taxpayers, but also outrage as the tax pressure seemingly increases by the day, as each level of authority deems itself worthy more and more income. To eradicate this problem, a new plan has been proposed to combine all tax collection within a singular agency located in Izmir, and from there on better regulate the expenses of the local government. Do it. All right. Massacre in Alkurna, the site of the now famous Battle of Alkurna during the initial phase of the Mesopotamian campaign of the Weltkrieg. The eponymous city of Alkurna became home to a large community of Assyrian refugees and settlers following the war. While relations between the Assyrian settlers and the local, predominantly Mardan Arab population have never been warm, tensions escalated earlier this week as 30 Assyrian settlers were massacred in a raid on their quarter, with the destruction of 50 more homes. The Assyrian local government has already declared the action a deed of extreme barbarity, and in addition to demand support from the Ottoman army to push the Mardan further into the marshes, has called up its own local militia force. The Assyrian levies, who have largely assumed peacekeeping and policing duties in the British-controlled regions of Basra, send a detachment from Baghdad or order the levies to stand down. Send a detachment from Baghdad. Right, so I have to organize my fleet. So we already read this out. This is just repetitive. Princely Federation was annexed. Yeah, Madras has capitulated. Oh yeah, so you lot create a new fleet. And do I have any other ships in the queue? Yeah, and I don't have any dockyards free to produce them. Oh my. So, Assyrian levies exact revenge for Al-Qura in retaliation for the murder of Assyrians and the destruction of their property. The Assyrian local government has sent out the Assyrian levies to exact revenge on the Mardan, burning down multiple villages and driving the marsh Arabs further into the swamps and marshes of southern Mesopotamia. Their actions show a clear intent to fulfill forcefully dislocate the native population in order to acquire more fertile land. The Wali in Basra has requested confirmation from the government to disband the Assyrian levies, as he fears that further actions could lead to a massacre rivaling the Lebanese civil war, which took place only a few decades ago. However, he also sees in this challenge an opportunity to weaken the autonomy of the Assyrians and hasten their full integration into the new Ottoman society. Of course, we'll disband them. Africa. Shimon the 21st Ishai pleads for the preservation of the Assyrian levies. The patriarch of Babylon and de facto leader of the Assyrian community, Shimon the 21st Ishai has pleaded for permission to maintain the Assyrian levies. Without them, he says, his people are fully left to the mercy of Muslim gendarmerie forces who and have no way to prevent the marsh Arabs from murdering more Assyrians. Nonsense. The Ottoman gendarmerie protects all regardless of their religion. Of course they do. Of course they do. Right. Now I want to change his icon first. Because this here shall be a scanning fleet. Okay, would you please change the icon? Right. Oh yeah, his icon has to be changed back. Where is it? Oh, I don't care about the icon. Okay, you go training, mate. Assyria declares its independence. One-sided declarations. Well, you should... I mean, declaring your independence is one thing, but declaring war on me is stupid. In response to the Ottoman decision to abolish the Assyrian levies after a retaliatory attack by the force on the Madan, with the last vestiges of the Assyrian autonomous zone in Basra under direct threat, Patriarch of the Assyrian Church of the East and de facto ruler of the Assyrian state, Shimon the 21st, Ishai has declared independence of Syria. We shall hang him publicly, claiming that it is no longer possible to safeguard the safety of his people within the Ottoman framework. The Patriarch has called on their former allies in the Entente to ensure the preservation of both their state and entire culture. Will this mark a new beginning for the Assyrian people? Yes, a new beginning in the sublime Ottoman state. Well, honestly, mate, you could have just spoken to me. Your levies attacked my citizens, and you're my citizens as well. You shall just be hanged, like he should be hanged. By the way, this is a joke, it's only gameplay, alright? Like, nobody should be executed. Hang him. Continuing to maintain that the levies are the only thing between life and death for the Assyrian people. Well, you're exaggerating, mate. Like, Rab Khalida Dawid Dimar Shimun has rescinded the order from the Wali in Basra and has mobilized his troops. Backed by the Church of the East, Shimon has declared Basra an autonomous region within the empire and has demanded immediate withdrawal of the Wali's forces from the region. Self-government for the Assyrian people, the right to collect taxes independently, and further protection of the Assyrian Church from Shiite discontent. The Wali of Basra, in response, mobilizes the city's gendarmerie to disband the levies by force if necessary. However, he finds himself substantially outgunned and outnumbered within the city. In Constantinople, the Grand Vizier is furious at this betrayal and has demanded all Mesopotamian troops mobilized to put down the Assyrian insurrection before foreign intervention in their favor can occur. Send in the army. I mean, how stupid can you be, like, honestly? Like, you're so stupid. As if you would have a standard chance against the might of the Ottoman Empire. By the way, I'll use an ancient Turkic tactic here. So I'll let the enemy come to me. Clash in the Arab Gulf. Tensions between Constantinople and Tehran reached a new high this week as Persian customs detained a Dubai flagged Shelbut on his travel to the island of Greater Thump, sparking immediate outrage from the entire population of the Trucial coast in a rare display of unity for the region. A squadron of the Ottoman fleet was dispatched to the region and anchored just before the coast of Persian city of Linga, sending an ultimatum to the Persian government to immediately release the passengers who were traveling under the protection of the Sultan Caliph. Escalation ultimately brought forth a salvo from the Ottoman fleet, after which the white flag was hoisted on the shore. Whilst the safe passage of Ottoman subjects in the Persian Gulf has thus been reassured by force, many are seeing in this yet another sign of a nearing confrontation between the former enemies. With unrest rising in Palestine and friction on the Kurdish frontier, it may even seem that this confrontation is coming sooner rather than later. The Persians are playing a dangerous game. Dominion of Canada opens negotiations concerning Assyria. Like, honestly, you lost the First Weltkrieg, you're trapped in overseas, and you want to negotiate with the victor of the Weltkrieg? Like, no, mate. You're in no position to negotiate with me. In continuation of their old policy of meddling in the business of other nations, a British ambassador has called on the Ottoman government to discuss a peaceful resolution of the Syrian debacle. Proposing a semi-independent state within the Ottoman Empire, they ask for the Assyrians to be ruled by their own parliament, train and operate their own security forces, and manage policy within Basra whilst remaining for all other affairs a province of the Ottoman Empire. Well, who are you? Like, honestly, like, let us have a look. Like, communists took over your homeland, alright? Which is bad enough. Like, you're here, mate. You have problems on your own. Like, there are communists. It's like the same communist menace at your doorsteps, which took over, or similar, which took over your home country. Like, you're in no position. Like, you're in no position to negotiate with me. So stupid. We refuse their terms, of course. So this is an ancient Turkic tactic. You let the enemy come to you, basically into territory where you can finish him off more easily, cut him off. Oh yeah, let's do this. Shall we do this? This is 300 days, by the way. I have to do this, right? Takes 100 days. 100 days. Oh yeah, so I have to do the Tigris program. The others are only 100 days, so I can do that earlier. You know what? Even though unrest will increase, I'll do this just because abolishing the Assyrian Autonomous Zone is now now is the time to do it. Hence, I'll do it. Abolished the Assyrian autonomous zone. Established through Basra Accords in 1920, the Assyrian community was granted special status in the Vilayet of Basra, serving as the conductor for British influence in the entire Persian Gulf. They were able to prosper and slowly but surely build a new life far away from the homeland on the plains of Neva. Sorry. This status, however, is not liked by all, as the government in Constantinople has desperately been trying to abolish it for years now, with tensions rising across the globe and the Assyrian question once more coming to the forefront. The Ottoman politics in Iraq, some are pushing for a direct resolution of the issue and the immediate abolishment of the zone, restoring the region to full authority of the Baghdad Wali. Yes, we'll do it. You know what? You should just have been quiet, mate. Execute the Tigris program. Less so than the Arab cities in Syria, the city of Mosul and its surroundings are closely connected to the Turkish economy and are more tightly knit into the region's regional administration of Anatolia. Furthermore, its population also consists of a tapestry of different ethnicities and religions. Kurds from the east of the Vilayet, Turkomans from the cities of Kirkuk and Mosul, Turks and Jews in Mosul, and Arabs throughout the entire region. The growing importance of oil for the Ottoman war economy, however, has led many in Constantinople to believe that extra measures should be taken to ensure that should war return to the region, Mosul will clearly throw its lot in, while the Turks and that control over Kirkuk can under no consequences be lost. Rapid expansion of the railroads in the region linking Mosul to Diyarbakir and Kirkuk are vital to the in this, whilst the arsenal of Iraq, usually located in Baghdad, should in some capacity be shifted to Mosul and Kirkuk. Fears of a fifth column amidst the Shiite Arabs of southern Iraq and the Assyrians in Basra are further influencing the government policy to take control over the region in its own hands. Yes, do it. By the way, we should... Okay, this is done immediately. Yeah, let's go to early mobilization. National focus. Now, oh mate, I looked at this for something totally different. That's Greek Insula. Oh, the resettlement law. I have to do that. Oh yeah. Okay, so I have to do that focus, which extends the authority over the Kurds. That is very important. Hence, I'll do that because this is 400 days. 100 days. Oh yeah, that was an instant one, so I can do that later. Great. So there is this 400-day one, and I have to reading the Anatolian Vilayets. Okay. Many nationalists see the entirety of Anatolia as one unit, but this couldn't be less true, as a variety of peoples ranging from Bosnian to Kurdish inhabitants inhabit its islands. Further, there's a divide between those living on the coast and those of the interior, often been left behind in favor of more prosperous regions. Uniting the people under the modern interpretation of Ottoman is thus our task. Go on, then. Okay, Ömer Fahrettin Pasha. Do probing attack, learn it. He always learns the same things. The empire celebrates Epiphany, a Christian holiday also known as the Three Kings Day in Western Christianity. Epiphany is one of the most sacred holidays of the Orthodox faith, which continues the majority of our Christian population in Constantinia and Smyrna. The holiday is celebrated most openly by the symbolic great blessing of waters, wherein the patriarch of the Greek Orthodox Church throws a wooden cross into the waters of the Golden Horn. A group of pious swimmers will subsequently endure its icy waters to retrieve the cross and deliver it to the patriarch. Not just the Christians celebrate this day, however, as the blessing of Muslim fishing ships occurs on the same day and is performed all over the empire. We honor the Son of God. Trabzon, unrest will decrease. Okay, just a second. Is there unrest in Trabzon? Lazistan? It's very low already. This is so stupid. Well, anyways. Alright. So, I think you know what I'm gonna do now, right? That was so obvious. Yeah. I mean, I have such a weak industrial base. This is so bad. But anyways. Basically walking around them. I hope that my beloved army would... Oh, I've just one division assigned to this. This a joke? You're joking me? Formation of the Syrian Muslim Brotherhood, inspired by events in Egypt under the leadership of the charismatic Imam Hassan al-Banna, and by the continued secularization and westernization of the empire, a small group of conservatives in Damascus have set up a Syrian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood, pledged to restore real Arab caliphate to the Middle East and rid the region of Western decadence. Sheikh Mustafa al-Sibali has found a listening ear in the struggling population of Homs. Subsidies from the Egyptian court for his organization are sure to have an impact on its membership, but thus far our intelligence has pointed out that it has remained a fringe movement within the greater Syrian political climate. Disturbing. Unrest will increase. By the way, this picture is a picture from Constantinia. This is the then Sheikh al-Islam, the Sheikh of Islam, if I'm not mistaken, when he was reading out the fatwa, so in a religious order, to call all the Muslims of the world to jihad against the Entente. So that was in World War I, just when World War I started. They called upon all Muslims of the world to go to jihad against the imperialists. The last real jihad, if you ask me. Well, go to Basra, mate. Reading the Anatolian Vilayets, perfect. And expand authority over the Kurds. So, divided in the tribes and other communities, sheikhs and agas still dictate the order of the day in Kurdistan. For over a century, the Ottoman reform movement has been trying to rid themselves of their influence and bring the Kurdish people under the control of Constantinople. Be it peacefully or through the use of force, we will succeed in the end. Bulgarian government overthrown. Not that I would care. Okay, done. Assyria has capitulated. Well, take back my land. Assyrian revolt crushed. Unsurprisingly, the Assyrian revolt has been crushed by our vastly superior army. Patriarch Shimon the 21st Ishai has ordered his government to lay down their weapons. Our sources say he was spotted embarking on an unmarked Indian vessel bound for Delhi just before the fall of Basra. With this action, no organized resistance remains in southern Iraq, and Ottoman might is once again victorious. Praise Allah. Abolish the Assyrian Autonomous Zone. Okay, this must be, I think, this must be a, because I think I already did that, didn't I? See? This is a bug. Like, I already have abolished the Assyrian Autonomous Zone. So, I have to file that as GitHub bug. So this is definitely a bug, because I already have the decision, abolish the Assyrian Autonomous Zone. Alright, perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this here now. We see each other in the next episode. Have a good day.